Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome back to another episode of You Do Not Need That. You guys loved my last You Don't Need That video so much and were begging me to do more and do them much more often than I have been. So here we are. I'm going to try and do them as often as I can. I don't know how often that will be, maybe every week or two, depending on how many new releases we're being inundated with. But if you are new here, these videos are for you if you are trying not to buy more makeup, if you're trying to avoid the FOMO, if you're on a no buy or a low buy, or you're just trying to cut back on the amount of makeup that you are buying. I realize that here on YouTube, being a content creator, being a beauty blogger, I am very much contributing, whether I like it or not, to the FOMO, to the constant bombardment of new products and exciting things and shiny looking makeup. And I feel a responsibility to also provide the counter argument that we don't all need to buy every single new release. We don't need to spend all of our money on makeup. We don't need to go out of pocket. We certainly don't need to get into debt for makeup. So if you want me to talk you out of buying these tempting new products, then keep watching. So first up, let's start with these new shades of the Fenty Gloss Bomb Dip Clip-On. Everything about this horrifies me. I've spoken about these before. All I can think of when I see these is disgusting mess, frankly. I can see it being full of dust, full of grime, full of who knows what. Something that you had for breakfast a week ago somehow has got in there. Lot of dog hair, cat hair. If you have a cat, if you have a hamster, hamster hair. Whatever kind of hair. Probably some of your own hair off of your own head, or your moustache. If you are, applying a moustache hair, could wind up in there somehow. It's just going to be filthy and sticky all up in there. That is an open container of gloss. Gloss is a sticky substance at the best of times. A whole pot of it, merely for the sake that you can clip it on what, your jeans, your belt? No, guys. We're going to stick to our glosses that we have in our drawers. These are nothing, these are normal glosses, but in a very disgusting, unhygienic container. We don't need these. I don't know why there are more shades of this. I don't know who was buying the original shade, but how's that looking now? How's that looking 6 months in? Grim? We don't need these. We've got lots of lip glosses. This is very gimmicky and I can only see it being disastrous as far as what it's going to look like a month in. Stick to the lip glosses we already have in our drawers. Next up, this Chanel Mediterranean collection. Now, I know this is a huge temptation for everybody because it's very eye-pleasing. We look at this and we're like magpies. We're suckered in. It's pretty. It's got patterns in it. It's very shiny. All of the things that make us buy products that we don't need, want, and shouldn't be spending our money on. So here's the reason we don't need any of this. So let's start with the eyeshadow quad. I feel like this is the most tempting, but also the most unnecessary product to most of our collections. Do you have Charlotte Tilbury Star Aura? Perhaps. Do you have Bronze Borealis from Pat McGrath or Venus in Fleurs? Do you have perhaps the Charlotte Tilbury Celestial Pearl from Holiday? Do you have the Holiday palette from Pat McGrath? Do you have one of a million palettes from Natasha Denona? Maybe the Bronze palette or one of those. Essentially, this palette exists in every single one of our collections already, probably in a better formula. This formula, as shiny and pretty as it looks, is actually very soft. It's not super metallic, it's not super impactful on the eyes. Those palettes I've already mentioned are much more impactful on the eye. We already have this. Don't you dare lie to me and tell me you don't have this colour story in your collection. I'll come over there. I'll do checks. Background checks. You have it already times 24 most likely, and probably in more exciting formulas. Just because they whacked a CC on it does not mean we need to CC it in our house, all right? That's a trick. Now, as far as the blushes, again, an eye-catching design, very, very pretty. Oh, it's got a little wheel on there. but it is still essentially a peachy blush and a sort of rosy bronze blush. Again, look me in my eyes and tell me you don't have 14 of those. We have these colours, we have these shades, we definitely have them, okay? If you're on a no buy, low buy, if you're trying to be good, if you don't want to buy any more makeup, go and look through your drawers, see what's already there, see what other peachy blushes we have, see whatever rosy bronze blushes. Do you even like these colours? I feel like lots of people bought both these blushes and actually one of them is one that will just never get used because it's not really your shade. So here's the thing, look through your drawers. What blushes do you have that are similar? How much do you use those? Is these offering you something that you don't already have in your drawers? Is it? Oh, I don't even need to talk you out of the lip balms because they're lip balms. You know, you understand this. They're lip balms with a bit of tint. You have the Fenty, you have the Charlotte Tilbury, you have probably very many of these types of formulas already existing in your drawer. Pull these out. When it comes to tinted lip balms, what difference is there going to be between these ones and if you have the Gucci, the Charlotte Tilbury, the Fenty, if you have all of those, once it's on the lip, it's a sheer shiny lip balm. Tell me what difference you're going to notice. I don't think you're going to notice any difference. Next up, let's talk about these Dior Quints. Now, these are the easiest pass. I don't think no one's watching this thinking I need to be talked out of these. I don't think so. I'm going to talk about them just in case there's a couple of you who need it. But I feel like these are a very, very easy pass. There's no FOMO needed here. These are very boring, very dupeable, very unexciting. These are doing nothing for you that you need. They're very soft, subtle, very, very dupeable colour stories. We already have 14 palettes more than capable of producing. They aren't even that exciting to look at. Okay, they've not got some kind of stamp, some kind of limited edition packaging to sucker us in. We don't need these at all. We don't even need to think about these any longer. They are boring, they've been done before, they're not very exciting, they don't look that pretty, and they're just very underwhelming on the eye. Okay, that was easy, wasn't it? We don't need those, we didn't even need to cover those, they're done. Moving on. Now here is a slightly more tempting release, a slightly more tempting product. I do feel a lot of us may need talking down from this shelf, and this is the Chanel No1 Foundation. It's reviewing very well. It's a Chanel foundation. They generally do very nice foundations. This is something new. We're very tempted by foundations. Everybody's always has to try every single foundation that comes out. It's very tempting. I hear you. But what is our mantra when it comes to foundation? What do we say when it comes to foundation? It's permanent. This is not a limited edition item. We can try this. There's nothing wrong with that. We can go and get a sample from our Chanel counter. They're actually doing samples with purchases online. If you were planning on buying something else at some point, you can get a free sample. Let's actually check it works for us before spending £50 we're never going to see again. Check it works for us, get a sample, get a tester, try it first. That's number one. Number two is foundations almost always are permanent. Dior likes to randomly throw a limited edition summer foundation occasionally out, but who knows what's going on there. But typically foundations are permanent. We have a lot of them. This might be the nicest one we've ever tried. How different is it? How much nicer is it going to be? How much nicer could it possibly be? Let's just throw that out there. How much nicer could this possibly be than all of the other foundations we already own and have? It's worth waiting for. Use the ones that we know and love. Get a sample if you can. Give it a try if you can. But otherwise, it's not going anywhere. We can wait until we're paid. We can wait for a sale. We can wait for a discount. We can wait till we've tried it out and the excitement and the hype has died down and how many people are still using and loving this and like raving about this in their holy grails in a couple of months' time. When you've used up a couple more of your foundations and you still really, really want it after the cooling off period, treat yourself during a sale. That's what I'm saying. Don't pay full price for permanent items. Next up, let's talk about this new Clinique Lunar New Year highlighter. Now, a classic trickery going on here with the cute picture of an animal. And a lot of us, if you were born in the year of the tiger, are instantly, I don't know why we're saying a lot of us, I'm a pig. I'm a pig. I'm not a pig. I was born in the year of the pig. Was I, or am I a rat? I'm either a rat or a pig. That's what I am, so that's great. But apparently this is the year of the tiger, and so anyone who was born in the year of the tiger, anyone who likes tigers, anyone who just likes cute animals on their makeup is instantly looking at this. Here's my question. Are you a big fan of Clinique's makeup? Usually. Are you a big fan of Clinique's highlighter formula? Is it, do you think, a great highlight formula? That's my question to you. That's my question. If you are a big Clinique makeup fan, they make some of your favourite formulas, you love their highlight. If you could imagine this highlight through our makeup goggles without the tiger on it, would you still want it? Would you still want it? Because if you are going to get a lot of use out of this, that tiger's going to be gone in a few minutes, in a few months, let's say. Let's hope at least lasts that long. It's going to be gone and it's just going to remain a Clinique gold highlight. How badly would you have wanted that if there was not a tiger on there, or if, like me, you were born in the year of the rat? Would you have still wanted it if it had a rat on it? Probably not. This is why I don't have these problems. I guess that's one positive. Next, let's talk about these Makeup by Mario lip serums. Now, what sort of suckered me, drew me straight in for these was the shiny glossiness. Very, very shiny glossy. Very, very glossy shiny. Now, they've thrown one of my red flag words in here, and that's plumping, because I've yet to experience any notable, any noticeable, any visible plumping from any product whatsoever in my entire life, apart from the one time I was on holiday with my family and my sister had very sunburnt lips and she ate some hot sauce, and let me tell you, those were some plumped lips. I have very fond memories of that evening because she was like in a state of despair and mortified, and we were all having a great laugh at her expense, and she actually ran off to soak her lips in the sink. But as she did it, the band started playing and she had to like run right across the band and we all cheered. It was great. She didn't think so, but we all had a lovely time. However, that event aside, I have never seen, she's going to kill me if she sees this video, never mind. That event aside, I have yet to put something on my lips that says plumping and see, like I've had lip injections. Suddenly I've got lip fillers and I've got a juicy, big, gorgeous pout that wasn't there before. Sometimes I feel like there's some kind of trickery with just glossy products. You put a lip gloss on, your lips do look plumper just because that's the nature of a gloss. It kind of reflects the light. Your lips look juicier, plumper, fuller, just because you've got a shiny substance there. I mean, you could wax some butter on and effectively have the same result. Don't try that. Don't try that though. That sounds horrible. But here's what I'm saying. I have very serious doubts that these are going to in any way plump your lips beyond just them being shiny and therefore your lips looking slightly plumper. These aren't going to have given you lip fillers. These aren't going to give you a lasting, fuller lip any more so than any of the other products we've all tried and failed. In order for like a lipstick or a lip balm to actually noticeably plump your lips, they'd have to effectively cause an allergic reaction or some kind of horrifying burning. Okay, and I've experienced some horrifying burning from these products before and they still haven't really done anything, and nobody wants that. These look nice, they look fine, they look like a lovely glossy lip. Again, if you've got the Fenty glosses, if you've got the Fenty cream glows, if you've got the Charlotte Tilbury Hyaluronic Hydra 400 words, if you've got the Gucci ones, if you've got the Chanel ones, these are just more of those tinted glossy balms. If you have the Lisa Eldridge ones, There's so many of these great, amazing formulas. We probably already have a lot of these. We don't need them. Certainly wait for a review to see if these are in fact the standalone single first product known to man that fully plump your lips like this advert. I mean, this is the thing. This photo, assuming this is the same model, potentially, please tell me that this model has not had lip fillers. Please tell me that this person's lips were similar size to mine. She applied this product and now they look like this. Please look me in my eyes and tell me that's what's happened. And they didn't have lip fillers already. And this is just a result of lip fillers and not, in fact, the result of a plumping lip gloss. I'll wait. I won't wait because no one's going to ever tell me that. So I'll be here all day. These are some nice looking tinted glosses. That's all they are. We do not need them. Next up, something I feel will be tempting for a lot of people because it's something a bit new from a brand. We haven't really seen this type of product from this brand before, and this is this Estee Lauder blush palette. And let's also talk about the powder compact as well while we're here. Let's whack them in together, one happy little family. Blush palette now. Number one, there's several trickeries going on here. First of all, it's the same trickery we already talked about with Clinique, that it's got a tiger on it. It's also got a beautiful compact there. It's got the red gorgeous pattern again. It's Lunar New Year. It's got the tiger on it. You're instantly going to feel attracted to it if you were born in a year of a tiger or you just like tigers in general. Who doesn't? It also has the beautiful embossing on the product, on the blush itself. Lots of trickery going on here. This is definitely one that will suck people into buying it who definitely don't really need the actual product inside. And these are expensive products. They've doubled, even quadrupled the price of things because they whacked a tiger on it. But we're going to use our makeup goggles. We're going to look actually at the blushes here. What's going on? We've got a very, very light pink. We've got a sort of dusty berry and we've got a peachy blush. Again, tell me you actually need and want these blushes and you don't have them in your collection already. Forget the tiger, forget the red, forget the embossing. Let's just have a little goggles look. We're not going to look at the tiger, we're not going to look at the red compact, we're just going to look at the blushes through our goggles. We don't need that. They're just trying to trick us with all their flamboyance and the smoke and mirrors. There's literally just 3 very basic blushes in here. And I don't know that Estee Lauder is especially famous for their blush formula, so I imagine the blushes themselves are going to be pretty average too. We don't need those. We've already got loads of lovely blushes. And as for the powder compact, that's $175. That's a Pat McGrath Mothership palette. And change. What's in there is essentially a pretty basic average powder. Do you want to pay $175 for that? Just because it's got a bejeweled tiger's face on the front? I'm imagining a lot of those jewels are going to have fallen out by next Christmas. I know for a fact you've got better things you could be spending $175 on than a tiger bejeweled average powder case. I know it for a fact. Next up, let's talk about this Tom Ford primer. Now this is a tricky one because I am a primer lover. I'm always on the hunt for a good primer. I understand it. I was a big fan of the Tom Ford foundations. They make a great base product. However, this is a primer. Okay, it's not that exciting. Might it be better than the primers you already own? Yes. Is it going to turn a useless foundation into a Victoria's Secret model's face? I highly doubt it. As a bare minimum, I beg of you, wait for a review, wait for a sale. It's a primer, it's not that exciting. I know we tell ourselves, oh, but this primer, this is going to make me, it's going to take away all my pores, it's going to take away all my shine, it's going to cure my acne, it's going to make everything smooth, it's going to take 15 years off me, it's going to get me a new boyfriend, it's going to win me the lottery. I think we tell ourselves these things. And actually, great skincare and a decent foundation, I beg of you to see much of a big difference from any primer, okay? Little smidgen of a difference may make things last slightly better. Possibly. Is it going to change your life? Is it going to eliminate the need for you to wear makeup? Is it going to turn all your foundations from 3s to 10s? Is it going to give you a completely different result? Is it going to do any of the above? I wouldn't have thought so. I think probably by the time you've put it on, you've applied your foundation, you're going to be like, looks the same as it did before. That's what I think most of us will probably say from this primer. However, if somehow Tom Ford has captured the fountain of youth and he's applied it into his primer, for which he's only charging £66, which, I mean, I would have thought if that was the case, it would be more. Don't know about you. If it comes with free Botox, if it comes with a free facial from a celebrity beauty therapist, then I'm sure we'll hear about that in the reviews. If it's changing people's lives, again, it's permanent. We can wait for a sale. We can wait for reviews. We can wait for payday. We can wait for our birthday and have someone else buy it for us. All great ideas. Next up, let's talk about this YSL Rouge Sur Measure. I know you don't need this, right? You know that. This is an insanity, okay? I don't know who the target market of this is, but it's not us because we are smart, okay? This is like £200. Okay, so it's expensive, but you could say to yourself, oh, it's an investment, because the actual device, you only have to buy that once. It doesn't even come with lipsticks. That's just for the device, okay? That's alarming. Weight, it's actually £250, £250 just for the device. So then you've got to actually buy the pigments to go in there. So those are £60 just for one colour family. So you can buy nudes, or you can buy oranges, or you can buy pinks, or you can buy reds. That will get you 3 cartridges that are only capable of doing like that colour family for £60. So we're now at £310. Do you know how many lipsticks from YSL that would get you? 10. And a lot more, and actually 11 actually, maybe even 12. If it was a sale, it'll probably get you about 25 in a sale. So wouldn't you much rather buy like 5 colours that you really, really like and save like half the money? I'm not suggesting you do that, by the way, but you could if you wanted to. And I'd suggest you'd be in a much better position. How long is this really going to work for? That's my other question before it breaks. I don't know that it's been tried and tested enough, but I just 100% know there's better ways of us spending our money than using this. And I feel like it's very gadgety. It's very niche. I don't know how much we're going to enjoy this before we get bored of it and it sits in a box in the corner. And we could have had 10, 11, 12 whole lipsticks for the same price of that. Over the course of like a few years, buy one. Every 6 months, a new lipstick. And you won't have spent as much as that in the next like 3 years. A madness. And last but by no means leastly, the KVD Beauty Concealer. This is the Good Apple Full Coverage Lightweight Concealer. Here's the issue with this concealer. I'm not especially attracted to this because the brand is not one that necessarily tickles my pickle, floats my boat, suckers me in. But here's the thing about concealer. I know so many of us are like just on a constant search for the holy grail when it comes to concealer. We're looking for a concealer that is going to take 15 years off our under eye area, cover all of our darkness and hide all of our secrets, lightweight, won't crease, won't move, won't ever let us down, etc, etc. That's what we're all looking for. And if we're over 30, it doesn't exist. The ones that you've already tried that give you a decent amount of coverage, but you can still see your lines, and maybe they feel a bit heavy, and maybe they exaggerate lines and texture, maybe they crease in our under eye area, maybe they don't cover every last bit of darkness. Let me tell you, those are as good as it gets. Okay, they're as good as it gets. There is very little left to achieve when it comes to concealer. It's all been done already. There's no miracle unless you're going to get surgery or fillers. There's no concealer that is going to take this area when you are experiencing the joys of aging skin and make it perfect. That's not going to happen. That's not realistic. And I know that's why a lot of us keep on buying concealers in the hope that one day one of these concealers is actually going to make our lines invisible and de-age us by 20 years. But I mean, I don't like to never say never, but I'm pretty confident that this isn't going to be the one that's going to do that. I can tell you now, at best, this is going to be a very average concealer that might cover some darkness, but is very likely to exaggerate lines, and it's very likely to crease as well on most people. There are a couple of concealers that don't crease on me, but they still are exaggerating lines because that's what makeup does on lines. Very, very hard for it not to do that. And if you're going to get a full coverage concealer that's enough to hide the exhaustion that we've got all up in here from children and work and the occasional glass of wine, it's going to be heavy, it's going to be full coverage, and that's what happens when you put that on top of lines, wrinkles, texture. It's going to exaggerate it. That's the nature of makeup, and it's fine because no one gets close enough really to see apart from us. We look in the mirror and we think, ugh, ouch. Other people can't see. I don't let people more than sort of yay far towards me. I don't let people within like arm's reach unless they're directly blood relative of mine. They aren't coming within this sort of dance zone area. They can't see it from there. It looks fine to everybody else, okay? Don't worry about it. We don't need that. So there you have it. Those are all the items that we aren't going to buy because we don't need them. We aren't missing out on anything new. We have lots of lovely, beautiful products that we'd much rather use and keep our money, honey. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye.